Kevin Smith. How are you? If I may. Yes. If I may. In terms of helping to put this book together, my parting gift to my only child would be a full confession about how underwhelmingly human I ultimately was.
Yeah.
That's in the introduction to your book. I understand why you called it My Boring Ass Life, because you watch The Simpsons all night.
That's it. That's how I go to sleep every night. And I take a number of shits every day.
Yes. What do you mean by a number?
Well, I mean, look at me, George. For heaven's sakes, I put a lot into the body. A lot has to come out sooner or later. So, like, I got one of those wives that's a girl, right? It's a woman. And
I've seen those, yeah.
They're nice. They're built differently than us. But maybe not so much me, but differently than you. Because I got boobs. Yeah. But she's one of these people that, like, chicks never go to the bathroom, man. She goes, like, once a week, drops a load. I'm in there 6 times a day, brother. Like,
it's either very healthy or you need to check that out.
It's bad. I think it's more bad than good. At one point, it caused an anal fissure.
Really?
Which was, yeah.
But that's always very surprising, isn't it?
I had no idea that you can rip your sphincter.
Yeah.
And I thought I knew pain, because I made Jersey Girl. But after that, I was just, it was terrible. There's what you learn is the sphincter is the fulcrum of your entire body, right? Like any move you make, you feel it. It reverberates there, even if you're not conscious of it. So if you don't have good rectal health, you got shit. Nothing.
Let me just say this. You have now, if your daughter watches this interview, has found out how underwhelmingly human you really are.
Exactly.
The daughter thing is a major part. I mean, I know for a lot of people it's a major part of their lives, their kids, but in your business, it's a very difficult business to keep that all together. Yeah. But is this just come naturally to you, or do you have to make a conscious decision to not be away from her that much?
You know, to be honest, it's not even mine. I'm actually not very good as a father. I'm a good provider, in as much as, like, I earn well and keeps clothes on her back, and she's not out there with matchsticks trying to earn a living. But the wife is the one that kind of keeps it together. Jen is very smart in as much as, like, if I go away to shoot a movie, the whole family goes, which is me and her and the kid, and her parents live with us and whatnot. So the entire family unit moves, because she's been to sets that we've since we've been married. She's been to, like, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Jersey Girl and Clerks too. And when you sit around and talk to people on a film crew, you hear about a lot of broken marriages. And it's always just like, yeah, I was married, and then I went away for 2 months to work on this movie and wound up cheating on my husband, or my husband wound up cheating on me. And right away, the wife was just like, I'm going to every movie you go to. Which I think it's cute, but unnecessary, because honestly, aside from her, George, who's going to me? Nobody. But she has it in her head, right? I mean, it's crazy. And I want to tell her, I'm like, and I try all the time, I'm like, look, you're the only one stupid enough to do it with me. But still, she believes, like, I got to be there because someone might want to steal you. I'm like, who? Nobody wants to steal me. But it's good, because
that's not what you should tell her. You should tell her, it doesn't matter, baby, it's only you.
She says that too. She's like, why can't you just say it's because of love? I'm like, because it's not. Nobody will me, man.
Now, the idea of what's been really interesting about you is you've been able to put a lot of your life into your movies and stuff, obviously, and a lot of who you are. You're a very open guy, but it's a much different decision to then put out a book.
Yes.
The book is essentially your diary, right?
It is. It's kind of, I mean, I hesitate to call it a book, because technically it looks like a book, so it must be a book. But
costs about as much as a book.
Costs about as much as a book, between 2 covers and one. You can read it in the shitter. But it started out as a blog. Like, I started writing this blog, and then I just kept going and going with it, and this company, Titan, called me up and said, hey, we'd like to publish this as a book. And I was just like, do I have to do anything? They're like, you did it all. I'm like, go ahead, publish it then. You know. So I kind of backed into a book. It just kind of accidentally happened.
You're making another movie, right? Tell me.
We start in January. It's a movie called Zach and Miri Make a Porno, which is it's a meditation on the Holocaust, really. It's got one of those titles that really you don't even have to see the flick. It's just like, what's it about?
Are you making this with the Weinsteins again?
Yes, Weinsteins again.
All right. And so I assume it's a couple of friends making a porno.
How did you guess, man? Take a peek at the script. Yeah, it's just pretty much that.
Big budget? Medium budget?
Medium budget. Yeah, you know, a couple, maybe like 15 million or something like that.
There's a lot. Well, that's actually for you, right?
It's a little more than, certainly more than Clerks 2 was only 5 million, but Jersey Girl was like 35. Right. But it's weird because people make porno all the time, do it a lot cheaper.
I think they certainly do.
They do. I've seen them online. Hours and hours of it, you know.
It's much different.
That's why I ignore the kid, because I'm always online. Like, almost.
Hey, man, I was watching TV a couple nights ago, and I watched Reaper, and as I'm watching this new TV show, Reaper, I'm sitting back, and scenes in Vancouver, and I'm looking at it, and I go, God, this feels like a Kevin Smith show, and you directed the pilot.
I did. I directed the pilot. That's why I felt like that.
Yeah, because it was yours.
It was mine. Yeah, it was these cats who wrote it called me up and said, we got this script that we'd like you to direct, and I've never done that, just directed somebody else's script, never thought I would. But I was kind of intrigued, like, who would hire me to direct something? Because most times on my movies, I want to fire myself. Because, like, he's not a good director. So I wanted to read the script, and I read it, and I was like, oh, I get why they wanted me to do it, because it's kind of like the real people dealing with the supernatural world, so a little bit like Dogma. Yeah. So I went up and did it, and it turned out well. Like, it became the best reviewed new show of the new television season. That and Pushing Daisies, and we were pretty happy with it.
I haven't seen Pushing Daisies. I hear that's pretty good.
I haven't seen it either. I hear it's great.
I saw Die Hard, and I'll tell you, there's this moment when they're building up your character, and they're building and building, and you think they're going to have to reveal somebody, and there it is. And Die Hard is, the first one is arguably the greatest action film of all time.
Totally.
How did you get into Die Hard? This one.
This one. The woman who was the casting director on Catch and Release was the casting director on Live Free or Die Hard, and she was like, there's a part that I think you'd be good for. You play a master hacker, and you live at your mom's, and you spend a lot of time online. You're always in the house. And I was like, so wait a second, you want me to play a guy who never leaves his room and he's always on the computer? You can shoot that in my house. That's me, man. Is the character fat? She's like, he is now. You're hired.
For those of you who want more on what's going on with Kevin Smith, and of course, well, maybe even find out if it's the end of the Silent Bob series, stick around. Kevin will be right back. You're back here on the hour. If you read the back of Kevin's book here, it says Silent Bob is back. Silent Bob is done, right?
Silent Bob is done. I mean, I can imagine one day we might do a movie with Dante and Randall again, like 10 years down the road, if I wanted to do a movie about what I felt like was being my 40s. But the idea of wearing that coat again.
Too much?
Well, in the movies, yeah. In real life, I like to wear the coat. But in the movies, yeah, I think I'm kind of done with it.
We talked about the movie you're doing next, which is the porno movie you're doing in Pittsburgh. It's the one after that you're making that I think people want to hear about. Just very quickly, what is that?
It's a movie called Red State. And it's weird. It's a real 180 for us because it's not funny at all. It's this weird horror movie. I hesitate to call it horror, but because it's not a slasher movie, but it's very horrific. And it's a political horror flick, and it's bleak. It's the bleakest thing not only that I've ever written, but that I've ever seen put to film, even though we haven't put it to film yet. It's one of those flicks that people will see and be like, what did you have to do with it? Yeah. Like, did you see it? Because obviously you didn't make it. But it's a real, like, right turn for us.
Do you want that in your life? You want that kind of change?
It would just be nice to kind of test my mettle as a filmmaker, you know, because I mean, basically, I kind of work in a very safe comfort zone with all the flicks we do. They're kind of in the same vein, in the same genre, the easy stuff that's in my wheelhouse. So it'd be nice to step out of that and see if I could pull off something that I've never done before.
Very nice. You've never had any weird border stories, have you?
At the border? No, I generally skate through pretty easily.
There you go. That's not like our next guest. Good to see you, Kevin.
Good to see you.
Right on. Kevin Smith, everybody. My boring ass, like the Uncomfortably Candid diary of Mr. Kevin Smith. Okay.